So you and I have both witnessed in our 40-year career that insurance deductibles have risen over the years, and it's tougher and tougher for a practice to not only toe the line but have the proper codes and accountability and proof of medical necessity and all the rest of it. So how does your organization help a chiropractor get every penny that they deserve?
Well, you know, we're
I don't,
certainly we're
without
certainly
giving away the company secrets here.
no, and it isn't because it isn't rocket science, really. I mean, you know, there are some very relatable A to B to C processes about what you do. Um, we know, for example, that from an insurance point of view, there are really only three ways that a claim can be denied. Only three, based on a benefit. So think Medicare, and I adjusted a knee, not part of the benefit, denied. No problem, patient pays for that. It could be based on medical necessity, which is a little more, murky, but we can find definitions and we can help them understand what documentation looks like that does look like medical necessity, and train and retrain and help with fixing up their computer macros and things like that. And the last one is coding. Like, you just picked the wrong code. And the good news is that very often, if there's a denial there, we can rebill with the right one. Now, I am a big proponent of a practice being very well balanced in the amount of insurance they take versus the amount of money they take across the front counter. I think you have to have that balance. And we're in a time in our profession where there's a lot of doctors that want to be more cash based. And I think it's a great idea. I hope they do that. But we also know that 10,000 people per day age into Medicare, and you've got to get your front porch swept to be ready to accept them properly. And if we don't clean that up now, as these people are continuing to age into Medicare, as the boomers are going and the next group behind us, I mean, we're not going to be equipped to do that. If I could wave a magic wand, I would remove the opt-out for chiropractors, the ability for them not to opt out. Because I think it's not fair. There's no parity there. And it's a gigantic speed bump that so many doctors just trip over to create these problems. So I think we could fix it there. I think that they need to understand, companies like ChiroHealth USA, which is a membership that they can have to offer a very fair, legal, and clean discount program for those who are uninsured or underinsured, meaning they don't have enough insurance. They have 12 visits a year, let's say, or partially insured like Medicare. How does a Medicare patient pay for that initial exam, that initial x-ray, et cetera? So balance is really what they need to be looking for, so they don't have all their eggs in any one basket.
So following up on that, in terms of balance, so you're a proponent of a cash practice. Is there an ideal mix between reimbursement and cash, or is that off? That doesn't work? What's going on?
I think it depends on where they're located and what the insurance is. There are still some states that have very favorable plans, union plans, different things like that will pay for all the services the chiropractor does. And then we have some where it doesn't matter what the chiropractor does, and they get, $40, such as our home state of Colorado, for example, $42, doesn't matter what we did. Well, am I in the network just to get new patients, to then educate them about why they should be paying cash? Because I might never meet them if I'm not in their network. So it's a real dilemma for doctors. And I think it's a very personal decision for doctors, because some of the plans that are out there are very restrictive. And, I have an opportunity this week to travel to one of the colleges and speak to the students. And you'll hear them all say, I'm going to be a cash practice. No payer is going to tell me what I can do. And I always remind them to go, no payer is ever telling you what you can do. What's happening is that patient brings them with you into your office to help them pay their bill. So they're not making these decisions. You are. You're in the network and you want to do that. that's your choice, and you may have very good reason for it. Maybe the big giant building right next door is full of people that have that insurance. That might be a good reason to be on that network, but it's a very personal plan. And we certainly do spend some time when doctors ask, helping them work through that decision tree a little bit.